time again for Hey Pastor, Have You Seen This? A production of Allen Creek Community Church, where myself or Alex or Rick, one of the pastoral staff, take a shot at a video from the internet we've never seen before and offer up our raw commentary. If you've got something you'd like us to watch, you can get it to us by just emailing a link to social@ac3.org. So let's see what the guys have come up with this week.
Really, this question comes down to, do you really believe that Jesus is King of Kings and Lord of Lords today? If you really believe Psalm chapter 2, the nations are Christ's, God's going to give them all to Jesus, the inheritance is the earth, the ends of the earth. If you believe that all the kings of the earth are supposed to obey Jesus and kiss the Son, then what does a nation look like that does that?
Yeah,
How do they legislate? Like if the legislators are actually God's deacon, if they're God's servant and they're supposed to actually serve the true God, then what does it look like when they do? Let's make sure that we get away from the whole like modern evangelical wishy-washy squishy, I'm a pastor, I don't get involved in politics. Well, then you're failing. Sorry, politics engages in
Couldn't disagree with him more. There's a fundamental and kind of rudimentary misunderstanding at the core of this, and this is the word nation. And there's I think a common misunderstanding with people that feel that these are modern political structures that have been drawn on maps in the last 400 to 500 years. And the word means people groups. The word means different, certainly political organizations, and that can include things like nations like Poland or the United States or China. But it means much more than that. And the intent is to mean all people in all groups, tribe, tongue, that sort of a thing. So to suddenly narrow it down to, if you've got somebody who's in charge of a particular political body, that person has to be the tool of redemption because the nations will respond to God. That's a profoundly narrow reading of that. It makes God very small, and it makes what God's going to do, redeeming, it makes it really teeny tiny and frankly weak.
in legislation, which is the imposition of morality. And if legislation is the imposition of morality, because it is, what is legislation? It's saying you ought to do this and you ought not to do that. That's an ought. We're saying you must do this, you must not do that. It's morality. And if legislation is about morality, then the question must be asked, does King Jesus have something to say about morality? And really this question,
Yes, he does. He has a lot to say about morality, and it's very, very important. I think if I caught his criticism of pastors who do not engage in American politics and kind of, I can't remember what he said, weak or something like that. Again, I would tend to disagree with him. I think Jesus had it covered pretty well. And I think we can probably go right to that source and his teaching on morality, and that can inform us in our decision making. We don't need any intermediaries in Washington, D.C. or Olympia or anywhere else.
question comes down to, do you really believe that Jesus is King of Kings and Lord of Lords today? If you really believe Psalm chapter 2, the nations are Christ's, God's.
We apparently loop back around. So I think it seems to be an apologetic for why Christians should be engaged in politics, and I think they should be too. Absolutely. To be a good citizen, the scriptures reveal that we should be good citizens, means we engage and we get to exercise our franchise here in the United States and vote. And you should vote based on the influence of the Holy Spirit in your life. I don't think you should vote based on my influence on you or this gentleman, whoever he is. You should vote and engage in politics based on the influence of the Holy Spirit in you. Hey, thanks for watching. Hey, Pastor, have you seen this? We'll catch you next time.